Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Dukowitz of the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this: most people give up in the valley. So I'm literally driving home right now. I am on a 4-hour drive home. I was just speaking in Kansas City, Missouri. I drove 4 hours this morning, spoke for 40 minutes, and I am turning around and coming back home. And one of the conversations that came up at the program with a couple of people that I talked to actually is we were talking about podcasting. And I was talking about statistics. And basically there's a program that I use called Libsyn, Libsyn. It's one of the more popular programs for podcasting. And it's where literally the recording that I do, this recording, will be uploaded into Libsyn. And then Libsyn will put it into iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Hey, you never heard me say that before, have you? And one of the things I was looking at over the course of this last week is I look every day. I take a look and kind of see what's hitting, where are my numbers at. I don't spend a lot of time in it. I'm curious of where things are at. I have seen over the last 6 months of this podcast steady growth, which has been really cool. And thank you for that, by the way. But here's what I noticed this week. It was amazing. Like we had, I don't know if it was Wednesday this week, it might have been Thursday, where it was just off the charts. And the same thing happened the day of this recording, Friday. The same thing happened today. Like I log in the morning and we're already in the hundreds in the morning. And I'm going, what the hell's going on here? And it's completely exciting, but this is coming off of a down week last week. And I remember last week watching it, and look, I'm human. Like, this even happens to me. I'm like, oh, shit, we had our best week ever last week, and maybe there's a reason that we're having a down week, right? Maybe nobody likes me. Oh, no, nobody likes me. And I just like, it's just like this voice in your head. And finally, I was able to tell the voice to screw off because it's not going to stop me from podcasting. And what I did is I got this full view. So there's a way that you can kind of set the stats so you can see like over time. And it was really cool to see. As you can see the stair step that I have of growth that I have had with this program, but also you see the valleys. So I see the peaks and I see the valleys. I don't have every day that's killing it. I have days that are high and days that are low, and days that are high, days that are high, days that are low, days that are low, that are high. And it's like all over the place. It is your typical trending graph chart where you have an up and down, up and down, up and down, but the trend is upward. When I look at it over a 6-month period of time, the trend is upward. And as I was talking about this with a very dear friend of mine, his name is Gilles Lamarche, and we were talking about it today, and I said, you know what I love about this? And I showed him, I said, is that most people give up where? In the valley. Or they have a quote-unquote off week after having a skyrocketing week. Like literally 2 weeks ago, I had my best week ever in podcasting, and last week, I still had a good week. Like compared to a month ago, or 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, it was killer. But compared to the week before, it wasn't. And that is the valley. That is the valley where many people would have just given up. They cash out. They're done. Hell, go back to the beginning when I wasn't even hitting 100 downloads. I was happy with 50. Oh my gosh, look what's going on. This is amazing. I was thrilled, and I have been thrilled. So thankful every step of the way. And as a result of it, I see this trend upward of the Commit and Go podcast. But the question ultimately becomes this: what would you have done? What would you have done? Would you have given up in the beginning when you just weren't seeing that immediate shift upward? When you weren't seeing it in the hundreds and 200s and 300s and 400s and on up? What would you have done? And ultimately it becomes this: where in your life, when you look at your life in body, being, balanced business, you look at your health, you look at your business, you look at your relationships, you look at your spirituality, where in your life are you not seeing the immediate results that you want and you're cashing out? I mean, ultimately, folks, this is where this goes. Because you don't see this. I am in this for the long play. Commit and Go is a long play. I want to be doing this 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. This is a brand that I am creating called Commit and Go. This is coaching. This is what I do. And I get excited about it. I get fired up at it. And when I look at it in the beginning, it wasn't like, oh, I hope I make it. It was, I am going to do this. And I'm going to do it consistently. And I went from doing it 2 days a week to doing it 5 days a week. And then on the weekend, you may notice, if you check out Facebook, I will actually put on, here was the popular podcast of the week. Go check it out. As a reminder of people of like, hey, here's what exists. Go check it out if you haven't, to pull in the weekend crowd of people who might be listening. It's a long play game. Where in your life are you trying to get that short-term win? The grand slam with nobody on base. The three-point play, but you're out of bounds. Where are you trying to go for it all with one swing of the bat when in reality you have to be consistent in doing what it is that you want to do? You have to be consistent over and over and over again. This doesn't mean that there might not be course corrections along the way. This does not mean there might not be mistakes along the way that you can learn from, have a lesson learned and then course correct. But where in your life are you expecting to knock it out of the park right away and you have folded up camp as a result of not getting what you wanted in a short amount of time? I literally, in talking to Michael Hudak, the promoter of the program I was just at, I was like, man, 3 years is fantastic. Now you got to be consistent and keep rolling. If you're in it, you got to be in it to win it. And in it to win it says, I am going to consistently do the work over and over again to create a following, to create for in his case, a seminar that people will continue to come to 20 years from now. Where in your life, across body, being, balance, and business, did you get frustrated and give up? When in reality, what you needed to do was reload and keep going. Lessons learned, course correct, reload, keep going. Because by consistently playing this game, you will eventually get to where it is that you want to go, especially when you're identifying the lessons learned, you're course correcting, and you continue to take action. But folks, the minute you stop, the minute you give up, you are now assured of never hitting your target. That's all I've got for you here today, folks. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. And hey, if you haven't already, head on over to iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, and make sure you subscribe, rate, and or review this podcast. And why not? I mean, seriously, why not share this with somebody you love, honor, appreciate? Hell, even somebody you don't like. It might make them a better person. Shoot them on over to the Commit and Go podcast. And as always, if you haven't already, check out commitandgo.com, where you can find out about our coaching, our live programs, and even get a free download of the Time Mastery Program to stop letting time, energy drainers suck life from you every single day. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.